Welcome to this video. So today I'm going to be changing this light. It looks ugly. It's kind of on an angle. I already took the screws out, as you can see. The screws sticking out, and I'm going to replace it with one of these guys. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested. It's basically an LED light that has a what do you call this thing? So that the light turns on by itself when there's movement, motion sensor, and the light sensor, I guess. I took this thing apart. It says instructions. Basically, that's what it's supposed to look like when it's done. But the interesting part was I actually started taking this off, and I figured this would be a great video of how not to install a light. So there's these washers here that were sitting over here underneath the screws. As you can see here, this thing is already falling apart. And then I looked inside and I was like, oh, this is great. So I'm gonna stop the video a little bit and just unscrew that last screw, and then I will be right back. Part two, I took the screw out. And basically I already took this thing off, but I wanted to put it back and show you what kind of a disaster this is. So it's not that terrible, but yeah, somebody did a terrible job, and there's some loose wires here too. So how to actually install the new one? Let me just take this one off. I will be back as soon as I take all this stuff out of here and start putting the other one on, and maybe we'll make a video of that. So I got myself a stand so that I can actually do work and videotape what I'm doing. So first thing first, check that your power is turned off, otherwise you might get electrocuted. Secondly, once you have the light off, I usually like to take it off right away, but I'm so impressed by this MacGyver work that I needed to put this on video as I'm taking this off. And lastly, this is an art of work. So I got these screws out. I'll just put everything on my ladder for now. Some real MacGyver work here. That's awesome. Hopefully I'm not covering up the whole video. So I took these off already. Taken off the white wire off the white, the black wire off the black. The only thing that's left is that, forgive my reach and step over, is that ground wire. So I don't know why people put electrical tape on top of ground wire. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay, so now that the light is off, we can move on with removing that nonsense. The screws are quite rusted, so I will get a drill to take those off. It'll be easier. And hopefully I don't snap them, because then it'll be painful to install anything back. Okay, not as bad as I thought. And let's see what kind of MacGyver we have here. Oh my gosh, look at that. This looks like MacGyver. All right. So I'll put the video on hold for a couple minutes, look at the manual real quick, and then we'll get this thing installed. All right, I'm back, and I'm going to install these. So in the box came a little foam circle, some screws, and the rivets, probably going to replace them. And the not so MacGyver thing is a ground screw, so we're going to put that in first. And just wanted to show you what they actually done is the screws they should have been using on here on this box should be like this. You can see closely, and they used real screws, so they might have stripped the thing a little bit, but I think I'll be able to recover it. I'm just gonna give it a try. When somebody does some crazy stuff like that, use a regular screwdriver rather than the drill. It goes in easily, so that's good. So that you can kind of fix the inside of it. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this ground screw in here that came with it. And screw it in just enough so that I can wrap the ground wire around it. The box is grounded by a wire inside, so the whole box is grounded. So this is going to be grounded like this, so that will go in like that. I think I might have gone a little too far. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. No need to MacGyver or anything. This one's a little bit harder to put in, but I should be able to get that covered. There we go. So this spot right here just slid into the screw spot. This one right here, so I'm going to tighten this one first. And it's holding nicely, so that's good. I didn't strip that too much, which is great. Okay, that's nice and tight. So what I'll do is I'll replace these ones because they're brand new. It's always nice to put new ones on rather than have the old ones. I like to keep them on while I'm working, just in case someone inside decides, hey, I'm going to turn on the power. And you know what happens. Zap. And yeah, I'll get rid of this right here. These are actually nice because I think they're called butterfly. And because of the feet they have. Here's the new light. Very easy to install. So first you gotta put the little foam circle on top of it. Feed the wires through the foam circle. It's a nice enclosed unit. So that should make things easier, and it'll insulate the inside of the box so it's not going to rust. For whatever reason, the black wire is much longer than the other two, but that doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect them. Step one more step up on the ladder so it's easier to work with. Very simple. I usually just connect the white first. Doesn't really matter white or black, as long as the colors are matching. So this is a little bit longer. So what I'll do is I'll actually trim it a little bit so that it goes in nicely together. And voila, I'm going to pause the video while I go and get some cutters because I didn't bring any cutters. Back, picked up some angle cutters. So I'm just going to come up here again and basically just check how long these ones are and trim them all to the same length. Both the black and the white, roughly the same length. that to be exact. Okay. Here. Perfect. So that will be almost exact length, yep. Nice thing to do is to wrap the wire around the other wire. The light wire is usually not as hard, so I wrap the light wire around the this wrong. So when you're wrapping, this way is the hard, so yeah, I'm gonna do that way. This way, when you take it off, for whatever reason, it's not as bad to rip it off. Right there, so there we go. Mosquitoes are just attacking me today. So give it a nice twist until you start twisting the wires together. That's when you're done. Okay, the next one will be the black one. Take a look at it, see how long it is. It's very long, so I'm going to trim it a little bit. That's about there. Try not to cut yourself. Twist this wire together. These two together. It's nice to do that. Put the cap on. Oops. So it doesn't want to get on for some reason. Okay. Lastly, but also good, especially for the outside lights, is the grounding. Green means ground, ground means green. So I will put the grounding wire on. So I'll just tuck these away a little bit. Put the grounding wire on. The trick is, have a screwdriver ready. When you're putting the grounding wire, when you're screwing, you're doing clockwise screwing in. And if you put the grounding wire this way, when you clockwise it, screw the screw in, it will come off. So you want to keep it clockwise so that it keeps pulling it in. So I'm going to try to show you guys here. There we go. Good enough. So now, the last piece they say is that we have to put this long screw through the center. Before we do that, I'm just getting the screw ready. I tried to tuck it away nicely. And put all these things out. I don't need them. Just shielding. There we go. That went in nicely. Try to be as neat as possible. Not always possible to be super neat. Do your best. And the light will be installed like that. So try to tuck these wires back inside here. Now for the hard part is getting the whole screw into what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the screwdriver through here and align this foam thing here, and then look inside here and try to align this as well as possible, making sure that all the cables are nicely tucked in, and voila. Now it just takes a little bit of effort to screw this in. Hopefully I'm not covering this up. Move this a little bit out of the way. So it's nicely tucked in. Everything looks like it's about to work. And they give you a cap. Okay, not to over tighten anything. Give you a little cap here, and I should put that inside the hole. So, alright. It looks nice. So I'll give you a close up here. Get this out of there. And that's what it looks like at the end. So that's where the hole was. And you can see the foam is covering it nicely. There we go. Time for a test. So 15 minutes and it's ready. I like these because we can point them in different directions. And there we go. So there's some settings here. There's some modes: test mode, auto mode, on time, and D2D, which probably is daylight or day to day or something like that. And then there's some other settings here: left light setting, right light setting, and something else. There we go. So let's test this out. Sorry for the fingers. Okay. I'm gonna test this thing out and see if it works. There we go. Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. Tell me what I could have done better to install this. Thanks.